Hello guys, Zueljin here and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft Infinity FTB server. I hope you guys are having a terrific day. So I got some progress made on a stream the other day. I did a little bit more than I cared to do off camera as well. But I went ahead and made Blood Armor, guys. I went ahead and brought the altar to tier 4. Now I know a lot of you have seen tier 4 altar before from my older videos, but for those of you that don't know, it's pretty straightforward. I'll just get in the out of F1 mode here. You see how the runestones are lined up here? Well, basically the runestones have to go one lower and two away from the tier 3 ring. So, meaning that you have to dig one lower than these and then place them, and one outward. And then you have to have pillars that go up and come along with these large bloodstone bricks. The recipe for these are pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see right here, you just need a weak blood shard and a stone, and it makes 32 large bloodstone bricks. And if you just saw into my inventory, you'll see that I have the blood armor. So the blood armor is pretty straightforward. Let me go ahead and put it on. You can look at the items that are in it. I have a weak blood shard, a sigil of the fast miner, master blood orb, and sanguine boots, all combined in that. In this one I have the sanguine leggings, master blood orb, sigil of haste, and a weak blood shard. In the bound plate, I have the master blood orb, the weak blood shard, the sanguine robes, and the lava sigil. And in the bound helmet, I have the weak blood shard, the divination sigil, the master blood orb, and the sanguine helmet. Now, a bunch of these things give me some buffs, so let me go over that right quick. The bound helmet gives me night vision because I added the divination sigil to it. And the bound plate gives me fast miner because I added the sigil of the fast miner to it. I'm sorry, fire protection and lava immunity because I added the lava sigil to it. The bound leggings give me haste, and the bound boots give me fast mining. There were a couple of things that I could have put on here, but I chose these four, and then I'll definitely have some more later on. Joe Hills is saying hi to everybody. As for the sanguine stuff, all of the sanguine armor is actually a Thaumcraft version of something that is in blood magic, and you can add them to the armor. So let me just look at that right quick. So the goggles are, this has been here for a long time, the sanguine helmet, and basically what it is the goggles are revealing from Thaumcraft combined with the bound helmet. They actually made the sanguine robes for each of these, and the recipes are pretty straightforward. For this, you need the binding rituals for each of them, and the component for the goggles of revealing looks like this. It's a couple of thermometers, some leather, and some gold. And again, we added for the binding ritual for the thaumic chestplate, binding ritual for the thaumic leggings, and binding ritual for the thaumic boots. Let me see. Hey, Joe. All right. Did he leave already? He left the game. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell him when he comes back. And late. So this is kind of where I did my my binding ritual. So basically what you do is, this thing is called a soul armor forge. There are something called sockets. And these sockets are made from putting 4 weak blood shards in glass and diamond in a crafting grid, and you get a weak blood shard. You get an empty socket. You fill the socket by putting it on the altar, and you let it drain 30,000 LP. Now, one of the reasons I did all of this off camera and a little bit on stream is that I kind of just had to sit there and take my life over and over and over and over and over again just to make one of these things, and I had to do that for all the pieces of armor. So I'm gonna jump into creative right quick and show you guys kind of how that goes for those of you that haven't seen it. Alright you guys, so we're in the test world, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about how to do this. Basically, you take these filled sockets, which again, the recipe is 30,000 LP into an empty socket on the blood altar, which is a diamond, 4 weak blood shards, and 4 shards of glass, or 4 glass blocks, and then you draw the item out. Okay, so in a crafting grid, this is how you would make armor, right? You draw it out just like this. If this was to be boots, you'd have to draw it out like this, right? So this is going to make the chest piece. If you wanted to make the legs, that's how it would be. If you wanted to make the boots, so on and so forth. So let's just do the chest piece right now, since it's a little bit easier to show you. And then you'll have to put the soul armor forge at any spot that's available in the crafting. So if it was the leggings, naturally you'd put it right here. If it was the boots, you'd put it at the bottom. I think you could put it in any, just so it's touching. Now let me get back into game mode 0 here, and this is kind of what you do. So you add a blood shard to this setup, and basically what that does is, if you add a blood shard to it, it allows you to add 1 sigil to it. So let's see, if I grab a sigil, and let me just grab the divination sigil, for instance. Okay, I'll add the divination sigil to one of the other sockets. Okay, now I also want to give a master blood orb. Now each of the sigils actually do something different. So a divination sigil will give you night vision, for instance. A master blood orb will make it to where the abilities that the sigil gives the armor will not cost you LP. So my night vision will never run out, and it'll never cost me LP as long as it's in this armor. And last but not least, you can actually add sanguine items to this as well. So if I search sanguine, and just put the sanguine robes, for instance, now I can put the robes in any other thing. Now I could actually add a second sigil to this, but it would not recognize unless I had a demon blood shard, which we'll get to that later. Anyway, all the components that I want here are there. I'll go ahead and right click, and it makes it. Now you can pick this up, and when you highlight over it, it has the sanguine robes in it. It also has the divination sigil, the weak blood shard, and the must of blood orb. Alright you guys, now that I explained to you a little bit about how I made that blood armor, I feel like I'm caught up. You know, I don't feel as guilty. Because honestly, it was the most boring thing in the world to get this thing going. The blood shards were easy to get tier 4 going on, and the orb was relatively easy to get as well. But all of the other stuff took a very, very long time. Each and every one of the sanguine sets took a little while because of the thaumium and stuff, and then I had to put together all those sockets, and that took a long time. My nephew actually came over while I was doing it. He was like, "This is boring." I was like, "I know, man," but I'm almost unkillable now, and I look sweet. I look ever so sweet. So I hope you guys understand that I wanted to just take care of some of that on stream and just get the rest knocked out off camera. Anyway, I'm severely outgrowing my setup, and we're not even tier 5 yet. This section actually goes into what would be like beacons and stuff like that, and it's even wider and deeper. So those of you that watched my mod sauce video should know how big the blood altar setup is. So it's something that I don't even know if we're going to be able to fit in my deal. It might have to go on top, which wouldn't be bad. I think it would look cool with some beacons sticking out and stuff like that. But the Thaumcraft setup is definitely going to go there. But we're still kind of working on that today. I went ahead and constructed a second wall, and I wanted to quickly go over what I've been doing with the roof. A bunch of you guys said that the spruce didn't look so hot and the roof looked too flimsy, like it was thin, and I'd have to agree with you guys. So I went ahead and went with smooth blackstone. Stuff's pretty easy to get. Smooth blackstone is just like this. Smooth blackstone is regular stone with some dye in the middle. It can be any dye, like ink or whatever. And I went ahead and I killed a bunch of squid. Squid are pretty easy to kill. I got looting on my sword, by the way, since I last showed it to you, and also sharpness 5. And on the pick, I actually added soulbound and silk touch so that I can get infinite amounts of smooth stone and never have the chance to lose it. Anyway, I'm really happy with my progress so far. And the setup that I'm going with now, instead of just putting the blocks back to back. So if I took, typically what I was doing with before was I was taking a block like so, and then I was coming from underneath it and putting another one just like this, and then I was coming back with another one, and it created like a, oh, that's wrong. It created like a very thin shaped roof, and as you can see, that's quite a bit thicker. That's a whole half block thicker, and I want it to where it's not too thick, but not too thin either, because I'm going to have a little center section here, probably a recessed version of this same wall, maybe less window and more, you know, foundation, or more block instead of glass, you know. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been working on. I'm not really close to ready yet to worry about the entrance, because I need to repeat these walls and kind of see how things are laid out. Speaking of layout, one of the reasons that I started to kind of figure out how wide I wanted this thing is that I really need to get on the Arcane Alembic setup, which is kind of like the Essentia Distillation process. So let me show you a few things. I don't want to get too deep and just go into explaining without doing a bunch of stuff, so I'll try to explain this as best as I can as I go. What I need is something called Essentia. And in order to get those cool things that I had showed you before, like remember the Sword of the Tempest, one of the first things that I had showed you guys? Let's see, Sword of the Zephyr. Sword of the Zephyr is basically something that you need to make in Arcane Infusion. And for Arcane Infusion, the first step is you need Essentia, or jars of Essentia. And these things are received. I guess you can create them or fill jars of it by breaking down materials in something besides this deconstruction table. This gives you aspects, but to get raw Essentia, you need warded jars and something called Arcane Alembics. So this is pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna go into it really deep anyway, because I feel like everybody needs to know. In fact, I had to research the information, so that should tell you something. So if you go into this section right here, there's a few things on this tab, which is the Alchemy tab. You can go into Essentia Distillation, and it kind of tells you in the future you definitely need to have ready access to multiple kinds of aspects, not just primal aspects drawn from your wand. Using basic alchemical principles, you've devised a way to break down objects. The first step in the process is to requires an alchemical furnace, which requires arcane stone blocks, a furnace, and a crucible. Now, if y'all remember, the crucible we got just by making a cauldron and kind of clicking it out of wand. So let's get that out the way. I want to say that I do have some extra iron right in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should do it. And we'll go ahead and make a cauldron. Oh, I still have a bunch of stuff from my my blood magic in here. Let's go ahead and put these up since I won't need them right now. And we'll just do the cauldron. I don't think I scanned the cauldron last time anyway, so let me go ahead and throw that down and scan it. Alright, now I got that. We'll go ahead and place that down, and we'll grab a wand out of this chest. Uncapped should be fine. And voila. Bam. That's good. We got it. Done. Okay, so that's made. Now we can go ahead and put that in the table, which, by the way, I made an upgraded wand too. I've used some great wood and some gold caps, and it gives me pretty much double the capacity that I had before. For some of the upper recipes, it's going to help out. Pretty simple process. Okay, so we got the crucible in place. What else? If we go in here, we're going to need the arcane stone bricks, which are made from stone and one of these shards, which we have plenty of these shards. Let's go grab a few of these, and we do have plenty of. I'll do one of these actually, and I want to say, well, I'll do 2 and 2 and 2. Oh no. That's not what I wanted to do. Boom. Done. By the way, how you liking this night vision? It's dark as heck right now, but night vision on this helmet is going to be really, really nice. Anyway, let's go in here and let's put this together. So we need 2 of these and some stone. I should have plenty of stone from my last trip mining. There we go, 64. And I'll put this in, and it's going to give us a ton of this. Oh wait, warded stone. Am I tripping here? Let's look at this again. Essentia Distillation, Arcane Stone Brick is in the Arcane Workbench. Fair enough. Fair enough. Pretty much same process, except it has to be done in the Thaumcraft table, which is no biggie. Just kind of stepping ahead of myself here. So let's move this around. And it's probably going to take some V and stuff, or Vis, however you want to call it. And let's see, what else did I need in the middle here? I needed these shards, right? Alright, so I got 9 arcane stone. There's 18, and let's do some more because I'm probably going to need to make quite a few of these things. and I'd like to just have it on hand for the next couple times I do it. Okay, also when I did put that stuff, you notice that it took a little bit of the different aspects, and I'll show you some stuff in wand charging later. It actually took in furnace, which we have to get from some aura nodes, which are kind of located around. But now that I have those things done, let's see, did I need anything else at all for the Arcane Furnace? I did actually need a regular old furnace, right? So let's get some cobblestone. I really hope that I have some. I had to go looking for some last time I needed some. And it looks like it's kind of about the same. Alright, so let's go grab some. Very, very quickly, we'll grab some cobblestone from this little setup here. I only need a little bit, so it should work out pretty easy. There we go. I'm gonna just do enough for a couple of furnaces here. All right, that should be plenty. My good old die, right? All right. So that once we make the furnace, then I think we could put this thing together, and it'll work out very, very well. Let's see. I could have just stolen one of those furnaces, I guess, but I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just cobblestone. Okay. 2 furnaces. We'll start off with 2 of these things. Alright, now I got 2 furnaces. I should just be able to put these right in here and put them with the arcane stone. Is that how we did it? Was it just like this? There was something else I'm missing here. What was in that recipe? Oh, the regular furnace in the middle and the crucible at the top. So the crucible was... Oh, it's in my inventory. Great. Alright, I'll take this out and do a crucible. And bam, we have the alchemical furnace. Let's do one more. I'm gonna go ahead and use some more iron to make where is it at? Some more iron to make another cauldron. I hope it doesn't take away too much stuff, but there we go. I didn't need that much, but now it is. Okay, boom, done. And we'll go ahead and put that crucible at the top and insufficient V. So it actually takes more in furnace than we have. So this is a great opportunity to show you guys wand charging. So I basically need some in furnace, which is the red 0 that you see there. So if we equip our wand and we go to some of these neighboring things, remember the thaumaturgist goggles I told you about, or the goggles are revealing the sanguine helmet? That's part of the bound armor. I can actually see the nodes now without having to worry about a spare helmet, and I can stay invulnerable. So you can look at this, and it doesn't have well, if you look at the tile itself, it shows you what's in it, but actually what you can see, let's see, maybe it's just through this you could see it. Actually, I think you'd have to take away the obsidian tile. But if you hover over this now, you could see that I didn't get any Ignis. I would have to go to a specific node that had Ignis. And these are located all around. Like, they have some in these places, they have some in silverwood trees, and that's where I've been going. So let me go ahead and head to the place where it had all the silverwood trees, and I'll show you guys what I was pulling. Alright, so we're actually around Slipspace, and where's Slipspace around here? I think it's right over that hill over there. Yeah, there's this tree. But you can, it turns out that the trees, they all have different types of nodes. And earlier when I said, see how I can see the node here, but I can't tell really what's in it? If I've already scanned it, you can just see what's actually in it after you scan it. So this one has Ignis, Ordo, and I think that's Potentia and something else, I forget. But at any rate, what I can do here is actually hold my wand. You saw it's only a little bit, and now you'll see that there's no Ignis there. So each type of node can have different types of aspects. You can actually move these later, and you can actually build a wand recharger later too, but those are a little bit deeper to get into. So let's head to the house and put these things to the test. Alright guys, so instead of making yet another alchemical furnace, I figured that I would save my Vis just to save time and make a couple of the things that I needed to actually put it together and show it to you on camera. So I'll extend the setup later, but here's the Arcane Alembic, and these are made from iron ingots, gold ingots, the Vis filter, and the bucket. And like I said, you need to have the research done. So let me go ahead and grab that. There we go, Arcane Alembic. And I'll grab another one too, Arcane Alembic. Also made the Vis Filters, or Vis Filters. If I look back in the Thaumonomicon, and go to the next section, you'll see that I need these Vis Filters, which are the gold and silverwood planks, and the Arcane Workbench I think is something else that I need a little bit later on. So now it says the first step in the alchemical process is the Alchemical Furnace. The next step in the process is the Arcana Limbic. To work Arcana Limbics, you need to place on top of alchemical furnaces. The Essentia will slurry. The Essentia slurry will be slowly be drawn into the Alembic, and the individual aspects of Essentia are separated out. Okay, if the alchemical furnaces is being powered by aluminium, this distillation process is much faster, which I don't have any. I can actually make some, but you can stack up to 5 different alembics on top of a single furnace. The Essentia can be extracted out of the alembic using files. Okay, so we also have to look up files. Let's look that up. Files. Fucking, there we go. Glass vial. Okay, clay and 3 glass. We can do that. We have plenty of glass, I believe, and we should have plenty of clay. Alright, got some glass, and I'm gonna make some clay, and we should just be able to make the vials just like that. Bam. 16 vials. Okay, so let's get this set up. We can put the furnace down right here. Bam. And then right on top of that, we can set down the alembics. Alright. Alembic. And, well, let me take this out. I could always put that somewhere else. There we go. And we'll place that on the wall. Our first diamond pick. It's like a souvenir now. Anyway, we got the 2 alembics set up. Now the interface comes up just like this. So, let's melt something down, shall we? Let's put some stone in here. And the stone will melt down, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. We need something to fuel it as well, though. Let's see. We have regular coal. Let's try a piece of coal out and see a little bit about how slow this is. We'll go like that. Alright, that actually wasn't that bad. Now, if we take a look through, I think we're going to need the thermometer to kind of see. Is there anything in the alembics? Ah, it's taking its time. Maybe that's why? If I put stone in here, okay. Now it's starting to fill these things up. So the alembics should sooner or later kind of show what's in there and processed. Alright guys, so that actually didn't take long to process at all. What I'm noticing is, look at my Walia thing. You see how Terra is coming up 32? If I right click, it says the Alembic is full, but I wasn't getting the little representation, and I thought at first my helmet was buggy, but I tried it out in creative and it was working fine. I should see a representation of Terra right on top of here, but it doesn't show, and clearly I have the effect right because it's showing through Walia, so I'm not sure what's up, but I'll investigate that a little bit further. Maybe it's something with the server. But if I right click it with these Essentia, well, these little vials, you'll see that I have the file of Essentia. Now, you can only get 8 at a time. You can't get less than 8, you can't get more than 8 with these little vials. So if I do that, it's showing that now that I have 4 vials of Essentia, it's 0. So I'm gonna use this to kind of build up some things as I go. Now you can also run pipes for this, but the easiest way to get Essentia to out and in is using warded jars. Warded jars have, let me look them up for you. Warded jars are relatively easy to do. There they are. Basically it's a bunch of glass panes and a little balsa wood slab. It uses a little bit of aqua, but that's all you need. So let's grab some glass here. Actually, I think I have glass on me. No, I do not. Let's see. This will be plenty though. And I'll need some slab, which I should have some. I was using a lot of them for my little project over there. There they are. Yeah, spruce wood slabs. I got plenty. Okay, and we have to do it in this work table. So we'll go ahead and make up some slabs. And then we'll surround them just like this. And we'll put this right on top. Warded jar. Okay, very cool. So you can run a warded jar right next to it. We'll just use this. And there's actually something called jar labels too. Let's look that up. Jar label, and these are relatively easy to make too. I think it takes a vial of Essentia and a jar label, which would make a jar label for air. I wonder if it just kind of sits on there, if it does. But this slime balls, ink sacs, and paper make up jar labels. I don't know if I have any slime balls right offhand. I suppose I can go grab some. Let's go and grab some right quick from DMAC's place. I know DMAC might not have slime, but I've been kind of using his setup every once in a while. He has a pretty cool little Botania setup, and I haven't implemented this yet. So I'll just go and grab 2 slime balls from him. Let's see. So we'll go to spawn. I wonder if he has a spot right here. DMAC space. Perfect. Hopefully I don't show any spoilers. This should be fine. I'm right outside the front door. So he has his little mana setup that he's recently showed in the videos, and right underneath there is, I know you don't see it, but it's one of those, it's an alchemy, it's something like an alchemy catalyst, I believe it's called, but with an alchemy catalyst underneath the mana pool, you can actually get cactus to turn into slime balls. So we're going to go ahead and do that now, and I have the 2 slime balls I needed, and now we could just go right back. Let's see, we'll probably just take my book straight back, or the nether portal straight back. That's probably the easiest way. Yeah, here we go. Alright, and this should set up nicely, and I'm not going to run any pipes right now or anything because the setup is kind of limited, but my goal right here is just to show you guys a little bit about what I'm going to be doing off camera, so it's not so much to catch up on the next time you come back, because I do stuff in live streams and stuff like that too. Okay, so now that we have these Essentia vials and that, we can make this little jar thing. Let's go ahead and grab some paper, which I should have a little bit. Yep, there's plenty right here. And let's see, what else did we need for this? An ink sac, which we have some of those as well. I'm bad, I actually had them over by the construction site. Anyway, we have jar labels now. So, jar labels, pretty simple to use as well. We take the Essentia that we have, like in the vials of Essentia. Now again, you can run pipes to these jars too, or you can just right click it and put the Essentia in. It gives you the bottle back, I believe. Yep, 14, 15, 16. So we have Essentia in there, and it happens to be the Terra Essentia, and when you slap a label on it, it shows what the label is. That way you don't necessarily have to look at it. So anyway, it's all set up, nice and done. I need to figure about this little Arcane Alembic and why the graphic isn't showing up. Maybe it's just because it's in a weird place in this house or whatever, but as long as I can see it with Wiglia, I guess I'm okay. At any rate, guys, that is going to wrap it up for the video. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. Next time we come back, I guess I'll show you some more progress that I made and hopefully have this little bit of that build taken care of over there. So thank y'all so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time. Bye!